Hidden beneath the beautiful, calm waters of the Mediterranean are the secrets of entire empires that have just vanished. So today, we're going to digitally drain those waters to investigate one of the biggest mysteries in history, the sudden collapse of a mighty civilization, a culture that was seemingly wiped out by an apocalyptic disaster almost overnight. Let's dig in.
So yeah, that's the big question, right? We're talking about a super sophisticated society from 3,600 years ago that just disappears from the history books. Was it war? Was it famine? Or was it something way, way more terrifying? Well, it turns out the answer has been hiding on the seafloor this whole time.
Long before the Romans, even before the ancient Greeks built their famous cities, there were the Minoans. And we're not talking about some small-time culture. These guys were the first great civilization in Europe. They were a true powerhouse that basically ran the Mediterranean world.
And what's so incredible is just how advanced they were. From their home base on Crete, they weren't building simple huts. They engineered these massive, sprawling, magnificent palaces. And their art? It's not all about war and kings, it's these vibrant, stunning paintings celebrating nature and life. Their whole economy was built on controlling the seas, which made them a real maritime superpower.
And here's where the mystery really deepens. We found their palaces and their art, but we still can't read their language. It's undeciphered. So, as the historian Michael Scott points out, we have to judge them by what they did. And everything they left behind paints a picture of a people who were not just powerful, but incredibly imaginative and adventurous. And then, poof, they're gone. Right at the absolute height of their power, this amazing civilization just starts to fade away. For centuries, nobody had any idea why. It's one of archaeology's most fascinating cold cases. Okay, so the investigation really starts to zero in on one prime suspect, the nearby island of Santorini. You've probably seen pictures of it, right? Famous for its incredible views. But this paradise is hiding a very dark secret, one that's directly tied to the fate of the Minoans. Tsunami expert Kostas Sinalekis just nails it here. The peace and quiet of Santorini today is really just a mask. To get what happened to the Minoans, we have to pull back that beautiful curtain and see the immense destructive power that was brewing just beneath the surface. So, how in the world do you uncover a danger that's been buried for thousands of years? Well, modern science gives us this amazing toolkit, including the ability to essentially drain the ocean digitally. By peeling back all that water, we can see the secrets of the seafloor for the very first time. The key piece of tech for this is called multi-beam sonar. Just think of it like a super high-tech fish finder. It sends out sound waves that bounce off the seabed, and a computer pieces together all those echoes to create these incredibly detailed 3D maps. It lets us see what's been hiding in total darkness for millennia. And as soon as the water is gone, Santorini's secret is laid bare. This isn't just an island. It's the rim of a monster volcano. Those famous cliffs? They plunge 1,000 feet straight down to a massive underwater crater. And right there, on the edge of it, buried under tons of ash, is a perfectly preserved city we call Akrotiri. And by digging through Akrotiri, archaeologists have pieced together this incredibly tragic story. First, there's a huge earthquake, and everyone runs for their lives. But then, and this is the heartbreaking part, they come back. They start rebuilding. We literally find furniture piled in the streets, ready to be fixed. They thought the worst was over. They were so wrong. The volcano erupted, burying their entire world in an instant. But look, as devastating as that was, the destruction of Akrotiri was just the opening act. The evidence on land is wild, but it doesn't explain how an entire civilization 70 miles away got wiped out. To figure that out, we have to go even deeper, to the clues our sonar data found, scattered all over the seabed. What the sonar found were these huge underwater rock terraces spreading out from the volcano for miles. And the only thing powerful enough to create those is something called a pyroclastic flow. Now, forget everything you think you know about slow-moving lava. This is a terrifying avalanche of superheated gas and rock, moving at hurricane speeds and hot enough to incinerate anything in its path. By measuring those underwater deposits, scientists could actually calculate the sheer size of this thing. The volcano threw out an unbelievable 14 cubic miles of rock and ash. Let's be clear, this wasn't just a big eruption, this was one of the largest volcanic explosions in all of recorded human history. So with all of this evidence in hand, we can finally reconstruct what happened on that terrible day. For the Minoans, and for pretty much everyone living in that part of the world, it must have felt like the world was literally ending. Just try to imagine it. You're standing on a beach on Crete, 70 miles away from Santorini, and you look out and see a pillar of smoke and ash climbing miles and miles into the sky, blotting out the sun. Like Costa said, for anyone who saw that, it would have looked exactly like the end of the world. The disaster really hit in two devastating stages. First, you have the eruption itself, an explosion that sent a column of ash 20 miles straight up. But then, as the volcano collapsed in on itself, all that superheated rock and gas slammed into the ocean, triggering the second and maybe even more destructive phase, a monster tsunami. And look at the power we're talking about here. These waves raced across the sea and slammed into the coast of Crete with unbelievable force. We're talking about a wall of water up to 30 feet high. It would have completely wiped out coastal towns, destroyed their ports, and smashed the legendary Minoan fleet into splinters. But even after the waves, it wasn't over. The final blow came from the sky. That massive cloud of ash from the eruptions spread out across the entire region, blocking the sun. This caused a huge drop in temperature, leading to crop failures and famine for years to come. So now we can finally put all the pieces of the puzzles together. The collapse of the Minoans wasn't caused by one single thing. It was a perfect storm of disasters, a catastrophic chain reaction that no society at the time could have possibly survived.
This really lays out the whole fatal sequence, right? The eruption is the trigger. That causes the tsunamis, which shatter their sea power. No more ships, no more ports. Then the ash cloud chokes out their crops, leading to starvation. With no trade and no food, their entire complex society just crumbled from the inside out.
The Minoans' power came from the sea. Their mastery of it was everything. Once the tsunamis ripped their fleet apart, that power was gone. This fatally weakened civilization, now dealing with chaos and famine, was a sitting duck. Other groups moved in, and the great Minoan culture just faded into legend. You know, the story of the Minoans is such a powerful reminder of the raw power of our planet. It shows us how even the most advanced, most powerful civilization can be brought to its knees by nature. And it leaves us with a really important question to think about. Are we really any less vulnerable today?